These are all the RAZE grenades you need to know on Ascent to be a RAZE god like me. So it would mean a lot to me if you could like and subscribe and comment down below if you learned something new. Now let's satchel into the video. On defense, I like to hold from tree room because of these lineups. These are especially strong because you aren't throwing them directly at the enemy, so they won't know it's coming. So first, to nade this area where the attackers start the round, go into tree room and come into this corner, pressed against the wall. Look between this white space here and then aim at the bottom of this branch and then pull down slightly more. Now simply just jump and chuck the nade. And even though this nade is a little slow, it's guaranteed to do damage, especially to someone holding this angle or someone grabbing a orb. So next, if the enemy is pushing aim main, what you can do is you can come onto site and use your boombot as a distraction to prevent them from pushing. And then press up against generator until you can see this tiny rock floating in the air right here. Aim your mouse down to the same height as this line over here. And then jump and throw your nade. This is really good because it forces the enemies to push out and you can shoot at them, or they'll fall back and take additional damage, or even kill initiators like Sky and Sova who are too focused on using their util. Quick note that these lineups are a little bit flexible, so you don't have to waste time lining them up perfectly. For example, you can aim higher and chuck your nade, and they'll come over and look roughly the same. Or over here, you can fall back further into safety and throw your nade. So if you see someone go into wine, there are two places to nade them out. First, if you're holding this angle right here, you can come into this corner, aim at this point right here, and then jump and throw. This one's a little bit dangerous though because you're out in the open. So a safer one is to come to this back corner behind Jen, aim where these 2 points intersect right here, and then do a quick W key jump forward.
Grenade!
This one's a lot better too because after you toss the nade, it gives you time to pull out your gun and then hold this angle. This last lineup you probably already know, which is simply nading B-Link. You don't have to be really accurate with this lineup, but I think the optimal angle is to have your back pressed against this wall and then aim at the height of this line right here. So when you throw it, it gets to B-Link quickly, but still covers a large area. Now for B site, I like to hold from market because you're able to nade B as well as mid if needed. Now the first lineup is kind of obvious, but you simply just throw your nade through the window. I don't really like to use this nade unless my teammate wants to peek B main at the start of the round. So it'll isolate the first person who pushes and it'll push the rest of their teammate back. Or they'll simply just take additional damage as your teammate is fighting. So if you want a sneaky nade on B, you can actually nade the entrance of B lobby all the way from market steps. And here's how you do it. First, you want to come into this corner, and then you want to throw anywhere in this imaginary box right here. That's from the right of the chimney to the top of B lobby to the left of like the bottom point of the island, and then the top is where this land starts on this imaginary island. What I think the optimal angle is, however, is you want to aim at the height of the top of the chimney and then go into the middle of the white space between the chimney right here and then the island. So around right here. This one you want a little longer of a running start as well, and then jump throw.
Grenade!
So if you're actually holding a site, you can throw a similar nade into B lobby. First, you want to stand on the white brick line over here and be pressed against this wall. And then you want to aim at the top, along this line right here, but at the top of the fence.
Grenade!
And then after doing a jump throw, you can see that Nade lands in B lobby. If the enemy team is already pushing B main, what you can do is throw a nade at the top of the window and have it bounce down. As you can see, this nade is really good because it'll damage someone grabbing an orb or destroy a killjoy ult. This nade is especially good because it comes down so quickly that the enemy team won't have time to react. You can also experiment with different angles depending on where the enemy team is. Now, if you're holding mid, here's the best way to throw a nade top cap. You don't want to stand too much to the right because you'll expose yourself to like an enemy opper or just being shot with your nade out. And if you stand too much to the left, the enemy team can easily rush out and also shoot you. So I think the best angle is to line up this wall right here with the left side of this pillar. And then simply do a running throw. And as you can see, the nade goes pretty deep in. So if the enemy team is jumping out, they'll still take damage. So now let's move on to attack side raze grenades. If your team is taking A, here are some lineups to clear the four most common spots on A. So to clear left of site right here, what you want to do is at the start of the round, stand in this corner in front of box, aim at the tip of this white line, and then jump and throw. Next, if you want to clear generator, what you want to do is stand on this point right here. Aim at this spot right here. And then run and throw.
Grenade!
So in order to nade the right side of A, you want to come over here and stand against the wall. And then as soon as this window comes into full view, you can see the right side of it. You want to aim at the left corner of the window and do a quick run and jump.
Grenade!
So if you know an enemy is hiding behind dice, I like to throw a nade from A main that is standing roughly right here where you see the right of this window and then the left of this line, and anywhere from the top of this window to the bottom of that window over there. So if I throw a nade here and do a running jump, I like to play off of it, shoot the enemy if they decide to peek. But if you don't see the enemy, then you know they're carrying in hell right here. If your team has already taken A site, here's how you can throw a sneaky nade into rafters. First, have your back press against this wall, and then aim along the roof of this building over here. And then just do a jump throw.
Grenade!
You can do it anywhere along this line as well. For example, if you're in this corner over here,
Grenade!
Throw it, and it'll have the same effect. To safely nade market door and steps, simply look between these two bars and have this green light right there be in between these two, and then simply just throw your nade. So if you want a nade staircase, simply stand underneath this point right here against the wall, and then aim between these bars right here in the center, and then just throw your nade. If you want a safe and well-timed grenade for defender side spawn, what you can do is have these two corners line up with the bar behind it right here, and simply just run forward and throw your grenade out the window. So the timing on the grenade is really good because by the time the grenades explode is about the time when you're able to peek. So if your team is taking B site, you can use this nade to clear left of boathouse. First, you want to stand in this corner, press against the wall, and then you want to aim at the very right of that tree and simply throw your nade. Here's another trick you can do if you want to be called an annoying RAZE lineup nerd. So say you have an enemy hiding here, or you have enemy killjoy set up, that's hiding in that corner, what you can do is simply, as soon as you have a gap between these two walls, you can aim at this lamp and simply run forward and then throw your nade.
Grenade!
This will bounce in there and kill the person or destroy any setup. If the setup happens to be here, you can simply bounce it against this wall.
Grenade!
Thank you for watching, and again, it would mean a lot if you could like and subscribe.